Good morning, everybody. Today we have a stock FRS and a completely modified FRS turbo built by P Tuning. So we're going to take these two out on the road and see what they're like to drive. Stock one first. We all know it's pretty good as is. And then we're going to drive the turbo one. It's got some mods. We'll see if it's any better or if we don't like it as much. All right, we are in Sean's, oh, look at this, a Ferrari.
Yeah, 308.
Yeah, that's nice. Let's see if we can get a little audio of this going by.
Very nice.
Sounds nice.
Would be better if it was a little higher.
Yeah, need to be on a little bit more. Okay, we are in a stock Scion FRS. Totally stock, right?
Yep.
Nothing's been done.
Nothing has been done to it.
It's got like 100,000 miles on it too.
No.
It's got like how many miles?
Let's say like getting up to 30.
30,000 miles on it, so yeah. This was the first year production, right? 2000.
Yeah, purchased the car in June 2012.
Cool, so 2013 stock Scion FRS with 30,000-ish miles. All right, we're gonna go to beat that other car. All right, so we're gonna see what it's like. It's awesome, it's underpowered. Well, if you're not in the higher RPMs, yeah, sure. We're full throttle here in fourth gear. 50, 60, you know, you really got to be up in the higher RPMs to move. But it's a momentum car. Once you get going, it's fine. It's like a Miata. The suspension is very firm. You feel that differential in the back on some of these tight corners if you're putting the power down. Steering is fantastic. I'm just repeating myself. You've heard this stuff a million times. But on these back roads like this is when this car kind of reaches its limits kind of quick. What was that, a rock? Downshift into second here and come back out. Turns nice. You're a little low on fuel, huh? Just going around these corners here very spiritedly. Some of these hills, you'll feel the front end get a little bit floaty. Not too many complaints about the Scion FRS, but that might be one of them. Steering response is awesome. Brakes are okay. You know, we've talked about power, it could use a little bit more. It doesn't have the wow factor on the power. You know, you're full throttle and it moves, you pull out of corners, but there's no there's no push to it, you know?
It's adequate.
It's adequate we'll call it adequate at best. Like here's a little hill here, floaty. Actually that one wasn't too bad, but there was another one where you definitely feel the suspension lift, and like I said about the Fiesta ST, you don't need any more power than factory. If you want to have fun on the back roads, this is plenty to have fun.
But that extra power could just
yeah, you know, you always
really
wonder.
nice.
You always wonder. You see those turbo kits and the superchargers, and you have to wonder, what would that be like? Well, we're gonna find out. All right, welcome everybody. With me is Sapan, and this is his P-Tuning built turbo Scion FRS. And we are going to take this thing through some twisty roads and see what it's like, if we like it better or worse than the stock Scion FRS. I think we already know one thing that we're gonna like better than the stock FRS is the power that comes with this thing. So Sapan, thanks for letting me drive your car, man.
No problem.
So before we get going, tell me a little bit about this thing. So we know it's turbo. P-Tuning built it.
Correct.
And it's putting down, what, 300 or so?
395 to the
395, okay. We'll call it 400 to the wheel on a Dyno Dynamics dyno, I think is what they use, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Cool. Is this just pump gas, or is it?
Pump gas with water meth.
Pump gas and water meth. Okay, cool. What about suspension, brakes?
So suspension, I'm using KW Club Sport coilovers.
Gotcha.
And a few suspension mods here and there, sway bars, end links, things like that.
Cool.
For the brakes, I'm using some slotted rotors with stainless steel lines, as well as WinMax pads. And WinMax is fairy dust. They stop, all this power without even trying in its stock size.
Yeah.
Stock size rotors, stock size pads.
Well, it's only 2,700 pounds, so you don't have a lot of weight to stop. But I guess if you have 400 horsepower, you might need a little bit more. Okay, cool. So let's get going. Start this thing up. Everything looks normal so far. Actually, we got a little boost gauge here. Is that factory? There's a little green light there?
No. So that's for
your meth?
The water meth.
Water meth. Okay, cool.
And then here's a water meth gauge, and that one is an air fuel ratio gauge.
Okay, so air fuel, water meth gauge. We'll show you guys that. And everything else is pretty much, well, the wheel, steering wheel. What is this guy?
So that's just a customized steering wheel, yeah.
Okay, cool. And, all right, let's go. I'm gonna adjust these mirrors a little bit before we head out of here. And we can keep windows down a little. Since it's got the mic, that should pick it up. All right, cool. Let's, this is not the factory clutch, is it?
No, it's a XZE Stage 1 clutch.
XZE Stage 1. Not too bad. It's kind of light. Actually, that would be very streetable. You could daily drive this. You might daily drive this, do you?
So I do a lot of work from home with my job, so, I may drive it on occasion, once or twice a week whenever I need to go anywhere. But then I do drive it to and from racing events.
Not really talking much right now because this thing requires all my attention.
So it is a handful, definitely at the time attacks and the autocrosses.
Yeah, you definitely need to be in the right gear to get the power. The brakes feel good. Suspension, everything just feels so complete. If you're not really giving it beans, it would just sound maybe like a full exhaust.
Yeah, pretty much.
FRS, and drives just as much like one until you really get down on it. All that power, you really don't start to feel the power until you're over 5.5. I'm guessing I gotta look back down at it. I think it was right around 4.5, 5 when you started really to get going. Is that the factory short throw?
It's a TRD short throw, so
TRD.
It's a optional accessory.
Right. Feels good.
Yeah.
There's no slop. It's definitely tight. Even the factory shifter was tight, and this just that much more precise. I like it. And with the windows, I'm gonna just roll the windows up temporarily here. Still not bad. You
Yeah,
can have
you
a
know.
conversation.
Yeah, you can have a conversation, you know, listen to some music,
Yeah.
not go too crazy.
At least you're not yelling at one another.
Yeah. It's not full race car yet.
So we're in 4th gear right now, doing 30. I'm gonna just roll on full throttle here to see what it's like. 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. I know we're doing 55. So yeah, you really need to be up in those RPMs to start moving, but once you do, it pulls pretty damn hard. More boost! There it is. And brakes. I'm in a little high gear right now, but I don't want to be banging off in second. Stop up there. Man, this thing moves. I know you get used to it. You drive something like this every day and pretty soon you'll be saying 400 horsepower, that's not nearly enough. But if you have another daily driver, whatever it might be, I don't care, 99% of those other daily drivers is going to feel slow compared to this. I'm sure you could bury 140 pretty easy in this, right?
You know...
Is that on the top end of this with the gears?
Well, it's the
you know
top
what?
of 5th.
It is the top of 5th.
So I just did a, you know, half-mile airport runway event.
Yeah,
In a half mile, I did a 141,
yeah.
you know, which is like Porsche...
Wait, we got to cut this. You're proving me wrong.
It's like Porsche 991 territory. But again, you know, that's a half mile with, you know, no turns or anything like that. Just, you know, pure straightaway.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, I think it's all in the matter of gearing.
Yeah.
And right now, you know, I'm at a stock gear ratio. And
Right.
I can
And again, that stock gear ratio was designed for 200 horsepower, not
Exactly.
400. So, yeah.
But, you know, regardless, it can handle itself pretty well.
Hold that thought.
Kind of pulls, right?
Oh, good job. 400 wheel is about right. Then we're getting into the good parts too. We just keep in 3rd gear here. Those are definitely recommended speed limits.
There's no recommended speed limits in Mexico.
The FRS in stock form would have floated like fuck over that. Those noises. So what's next?
You know, it's probably just going to be roll cage and some R comps, really. You know, with these past, you know, few events I've done, you know, I'm really close to, you know, the top 5, top, you know, 7. And, you know, just need that little bit more to, you know, kind of just compete against everyone else who has, like, you know, limited class. But also, it's just driver experience. So just in general, need to brush up on my skills.
Right.
There are other folks, who are part of our Mid-Atlantic, FT86 club. They, even with less power, they're still edging very close to top 3, top 4. So definitely just brushing up on driving skills really.
So we've had our fun in Sapan's badass FRS, and there's so many thoughts going through my head. Everything's been touched: suspension, brakes, turbo kit, and makes tons of power. You really can't compare this to a stock FRS. Really, it's tighter, so much faster, so much louder, but it still retains that daily drivability. And just ridiculous amounts of top end. I think I like everything about this thing. If you're looking for a street/track car, this is fantastic. If you're sticking with that FRS platform, it might be a little bit too loud for me for a daily driver. You probably would agree with me.
Yeah, I'd agree. Unless you're really, into cars and you like that loud exhaust constantly,
Yeah.
It is loud. And like I said, on road trips, I put the seats back in, just to have a little sanity.
Yeah. So this thing stops very well with these pads. It doesn't seem like you need a big brake kit or anything with this car. At least maybe not at these power levels for typical track days. Maybe if you're going all out racing, then you might want a little bit more cooling. You could probably get that with bigger brake ducts. I mean, we didn't drive this thing too hard on those back roads, and it handled it absolutely fine. It was so composed. These cars already have ridiculous steering feel. One of the things they're known for. When you stick on the bigger tires, the wider, meatier tires, not just wider, but sticky. These are what they use the
Toyo
R888s. That's pretty much a track tire, barely legal for the street. It is absurd how much grip, how much speed can be carried through these corners, and then with the turbo kit, how fast you can accelerate out. This thing is it's a little monster. It's awesome, man. I forget a stock FRS. You need one of these. Sapan, thanks for letting me drive it.
No problem, dude.
If anybody wants to know more about Sapan's car, check out his account on Wheelwell. The link will be below, and you can find out everything that's done. All the mods, not just the turbo, suspension, whatever you wanted to know about it, it'll be there. All right, guys, till next time. Hope you enjoyed.